Hey there, my name is Mindy Strong. I am a licensed insurance broker and retirement specialist. I'm going to try in 5 minutes to teach you a little bit about 401ks and IULs, how they are similar, how they are different, what purpose does each serve. At the end of this video, if you like what you've heard and you're interested in learning more about IULs, what I like to do is set up a time to sit with you, share my screen, show you as I create an illustration for you based on who you are, what your needs are, so that you can see how an IUL can be created to optimize growth, which is very important. Now, let's get started. I'm going to show you about 401ks, IULs. If you have any questions, please respond to this video. Here we go. Okay. So, first of all, when I say 401k, what I'm really referring to is any retirement vehicle that is tax deferred. 403bs, 457s, TSPs. What happens when you get a 401k is they will say to you, as you set this up, we want to know what percentage of your paycheck you want every month to go directly into this vehicle. Doesn't go through your bank account, which means you have not paid taxes on this money. Why is that good? Well, because obviously you're contributing a larger amount. You eventually will have to pay taxes on it, but you are utilizing the full amount of your money up front, worrying about the taxes later. The second component of a 401k, most of the time, not always, is the employer will then match up to a certain percent. Hypothetically speaking, let's say that this employer is willing to match up to 5%. That's great, because if you put in 5% of your paycheck and they're willing to match up to 5%, obviously this thing is going to grow faster, and you aren't going to be exposed to the same risk you would be exposed to if that amount wasn't being matched. So that's a great feature of 401ks. Now, as you can see here, this is basically a timeline. You're working, you contribute every month, your employer contributes every month. Time goes on, the balance in this thing grows. The purpose of a 401k is not to look at it and worry about it. It's to sort of set it and forget it and trust that over time, with you adding to it, the employer adding to it, and the market will fluctuate, but over time, we know that markets do go up. If we look at the long haul, this is going to grow into a nice retirement vehicle for you. Now, what is at play during this time? As I said, the market is at play during this time. It is what it is, but there's a benefit to that, because let's say we've got a market that goes up 20% one year. Awesome. You're going to grab 20% of that, and it's going to help with the growth. The problem with being in the market is obvious, but I'm going to say it anyway. Anything below 0% and you're losing money. So if you look at this in a short time frame, you can get really worried about these vehicles. But if you are willing to set it and forget it, and you have time to do that, this is a great vehicle that you should be contributing to. Now, when you get to the age of retirement, the IRS comes knocking on your door, metaphorically, and they say, you've never paid taxes on this money. We're going to force you to start pulling out a certain percent and paying taxes on this, because we don't want you to die before you've paid your taxes. Okay, there is also something called an IUL. Now, an IUL is another type of vehicle, and let me move me out of the way. So an IUL is another type of vehicle that is a great way to start putting money away from retirement. How is it similar? Well, you will contribute every month. You will make a certain payment to this IUL. That is something that you and your insurance broker will set up. It needs to be comfortable. It needs to be an amount of money that is not going to cause you to have to eat ramen noodles. Be very careful when you're setting these up. Make sure you're working with someone who knows what they're doing. Again, if you want my help, click the link. I will help you set this up. One of the differences in an IUL is you are not participating directly in the market. What do I mean by that? The very basic answer is that your money is being indexed, meaning it's being credited based on how an index performs. Anything below 0, you will not experience loss. Anything above a certain cap, however, you will not get either. So there are limitations to the growth, but you've got a floor. So that is a very, very marked difference between the two. Here's my cap and floor. What is awesome about these is because you have that floor, your interest is going to be able to compound without any loss. Again, this is a long-term strategy. This is not get rich overnight. This is a product that takes time, just like a 401k, to grow. Okay, what are some other differences and advantages to an IUL, you ask? Great question. Here's the answer. First of all, it's a life insurance product. What does that mean? That means that there is a guaranteed death benefit associated. So no matter how this thing performs, when we talk about the growth in the index, you're going to start with a base amount that is guaranteed to be paid out upon death. Often, the type of IULs I love and the type that I personally recommend also have living benefits. What does that mean? That means that if anything happens to your health during your working years, you are allowed to borrow against the policy itself. Great feature. Somebody's diagnosed with cancer, somebody becomes disabled, they can utilize this policy. And again, there's no tax consequence for doing that. There's no age before you have a tax consequence. It's just money that you can utilize if you become ill or disabled. Also, at the end of time, once you've created this thing and the interest is compounded and you've contributed and it's grown to a pretty amount, you don't have to pay taxes on it. These are the benefits of an IUL. The drawbacks of an IUL are that you do have a cap. Another drawback of an IUL is you do not have the employer contributing as well. Many people have both. I would love to help you look at getting yourself set up for an IUL. Click the link, set up an appointment, and I can show you what an IUL for you would look like with a certain monthly contribution over time. All right, I hope that's been helpful. If you like this, please subscribe to my channel for more. Please like this video. Please give me feedback. If there's something I need to do better, if something was confusing, let me know that as well. I hope you guys are having a great day, planning for your retirement. It's never too early to start putting money away. Thanks for listening.